welcome to the Nintendo Power Zone. We are a videocast/podcast dedicated to bringing you the best Nintendo-related topics. Guys, I'm your host, Nice One, and today we're going to finish up part 2 of our 25th anniversary Pokemon discussion. This is the episode where we talk all about our favorite memories in the Pokemon franchise. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Time to talk about some 25 years. We got some memories.
I'm almost 25. Almost.
It's 22 and a half years for me, thank you.
Anyhow, yes, a series that has literally captured our imaginations for 2.5 decades hits its 25th anniversary. Everyone's got to have some great memories of this franchise, be it if you've been down from Gen 1 or Sword and Shield are your first experiences with the Pokemon franchise, or even Pokemon Go. You have to have something that sticks out in your mind about this franchise, and I think we want to get into them. So I want to start with, what are your favorite games in the mainline series? Top one, mainline.
I was the Gen 2er growing up. Crystal was my first game, so when they remade Heart Gold Soul Silver, it's just such a good game. And there's follow Pokemon, it's faithful, it looks pretty. I'm all about Heart Gold Soul Silver.
I'm a Pokemon Yellow guy. I loved the fact that, like, when they released Pokemon Yellow, and they were like, this is like the anime version of the game that you already loved. And they added Jesse and James and Meowth to the villain roster of the game. You get the...
Yeah.
You go through the points where you get all the starters. You get your, Bulbasaur, your Charmander, your Squirtle. You have follow Pikachu, and obviously you can teach Pikachu Surf. They did kind of kill all the game breaking bugs that would allow you to have 99 items, which kind of sucked. Because I love that cheat, or that hack. But so I just love that game. I love the opening video screen of that game with the music and Pikachu surfing. Loved Yellow. It turned a game that I was already fascinated with into something that I just absolutely adored.
Yeah, no, Yellow's a good one. That's such a difficult question. For me, it's a really big toss-up, and it depends on how I want to lean. Because I like them for so many different reasons. It's a toss-up for me between Diamond and Pearl and X and Y. Which I know a lot of people didn't like X and Y as their favorite, but I liked X and Y for the avatar customizability. I thought that was great. And I liked a lot of the Pokemon that they introduced into the series. I thought it was just a good generation of Pokemon.
I mean, they have a Death God Pokemon in that game.
Yeah.
What is it to love about Yveltal?
Right. But then there's Diamond and Pearl, which we talked about before. I have so many fond memories of Diamond and Pearl and screwing around in the underground and just doing secret-based shit and all the post-game stuff. So it's a really, really difficult it's a really difficult choice. I think if I had to choose one, gun to the head kind of choose one, Diamond and Pearl by a hair.
Hey, Diamond and Pearl, man, set a really good standard for the series.
It really did.
It really brought us into the real next generation of Pokemon, as far as just the global communication aspect of Pokemon that we just didn't have prior to the series. Mm-hmm. The fact that these are the first games that have some kind of internet connectivity, where you're trading online for the first time, and the GTS.
Right. But even without if you didn't have internet connectivity, they still had something for you in the post-game hard mode Battle Frontier. So it really had a lot of things for everyone, and the story didn't shy away from mature themes either. It was really just kind of like an all-age story. Everyone could go in, regardless of the age, and get something out of it. And I've really appreciated Diamond and Pearl for that. So. It's hard. It is.
There are a lot of games to pick from now. It makes it really intriguing, because for me it's Yellow, but it's a toss up between Yellow and the Let's Go games, because the Let's Go games do what Yellow does. It's just something about just the memory of playing Yellow on my Game Boy,
Right.
The nostalgia of it is what edged it out for me.
Right.
Moving on, favorite Pokemon spin-off game. Now, this one was a tough choice for me because there are just so many good spin-off games.
There's a lot.
Like, you have your Rangers and you have your Pokken tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I found myself struggling between three. It was Pokemon Conquest, Pokken Tournament, and Pokemon Snap. But
Okay.
ultimately, Pokemon Snap is what won it out for me because Pokemon Snap is the first time that it felt like we were expanding the Pokemon world. This is a real world that exists in this video game franchise, right? We are going out to a place and seeing what Pokemon are like when they are unimpeded by people. And I really love that. Like, Pokemon have lives, right? Like, it's like watching a nature documentary, right? Like, what do animals do when humans aren't around to fuck shit up?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear that. That makes sense. I like that.
And so for me, that was like such a great expansion of the world, right? Like, there are untouched parts of the world that haven't been moved in upon and settled upon. And there's just something, even though it's a 64 game, there's just something beautiful about the way the game looks and feels. And there's funness to the game where you see Pikachu is just fucking with electrodes because it can.
Right, yeah, that was great.
That's awesome to me.
Yeah.
And there's a random surfboard there, so I'm just gonna fucking ride it.
Yeah, that was great. And that was such a great nod.
Then just as fucking with the Pokemon, like we said earlier, where you throw the pester ball at Mankey, which pisses him off, and he just fucking satellite kicks Magikarp away.
Yeah, it's good.
I love that. So because of the expansion to the the overall Pokemon world to the point where we are now, we can thank Snap for that. And for that, Snap is my favorite spin-off game.
I was also stuck between three: Pokemon Dash, Pokemon Teeth, and Pokemon Typing Adventure. No, so my three I was stuck between were.
Are you sure it's not Teeth? I could see that.
It's Pokemon Smile.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Smile. Sorry, yeah, Pokemon Smile. They called it Teeth Game or Brushing Game.
Brushing Game.
Right.
Presentation.
We have to talk about that after we finish this segment because I'm not gonna. Yeah, no, fuck it. We're doing it now. I hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that intro. I hated it. It was the most annoying thing that they could have done for something that's supposed to be a celebration. I was like, fucking hashtags everywhere. Ugh.
Yeah, I get it. It's the youth thing, and
the annoying voices. They weren't at one point. There's two British guys that are so obnoxiously British that I was like, I hate this. And I'm fast forwarding the presentation.
I get it because it's a global thing, and also what annoyed me is not 80% of the shit that they showed was Japan only, and I'm like, ah! I
didn't even know about that Pokemon wand thingy. I didn't know that was a thing. The light up wand that made the Pokemon. I was like, what the fuck was that? I don't remember that. I was like, I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Right.
All right.
Anyway,
rant aside, please proceed.
Yeah. So it is I guess I can't really narrow these down, but the Pokemon Ranger series, all three of them, as well as Pokemon. Forgetting the exact names, the Shadow Lugia one, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. That's the one.
Yeah, Gale of Darkness, right?
Really fucking cool. They haven't really done anything like that since. Battle Revolution was the closest they got afterwards. That's just a battle sim. So, yeah. That was a whole fucking campaign, and it was sick. I loved it.
Bring back Stadium.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they won't, because Pokemon is now in the third dimension. The whole point of Stadium, Coliseum, and all those was that it was Pokemon in 3D. That's the whole point of their existence. And now that's just the main game. So
they kind of functioned as a Super Game Boy too.
True.
Slot the original red and blue and yellow and slot them in and play them on the big screen.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. That's why we won't see them going forward. What? And then Pokken. Yeah, Pokken. And I think I got to give it between these three to Pokemon Ranger. I can't quite pick between them. I think it's not Guardian Signs, but between the first one and Shadows of Almia, there are so many good times I had with these games, the idea of just sort of getting Pokemon to assist you with things was something that I always wished made it deeper into the mainline Pokemon games. You have Cut, you have Surf, etc., but just having a Pokemon charge a power plant by like finding it and bringing it to the power plant was cool. As well as there's a lot of charm to the dialogue and the villains.
Dude, that Rock Band team, oh my god, I love them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, and I like that. I think you're definitely onto something with the Ranger. It did kind of feel like a buddy cop vibe.
For sure.
And I loved
and
it.
They pushed
I
it
love
so
Minun.
hard. They pushed the Ranger series so hard, right? In comparison to other spin-off games. Dude, there were movies based off of the Ranger series.
Well,
yeah,
I think Ranger the movie came out and then they made the game. But I think they sort of planned
I think they were
the game
yeah, they were
because around Manaphy, right?
Well, and then the Rangers show up in the anime so frequently during those seasons during that time frame, right? Like Ash encounters different Rangers on a regular basis. It's a thing that happens in the anime. They push Ranger and they put it in your forefront, and obviously get Manaphy or in the Fion that are exclusive to those games gave you incentive to want them even more, right?
Right.
Like I legit only bought them for those characters, to have the the legend, the mythical Pokemon, and found myself loving the franchise just because you're right. Like dialogue is witty, it's fun. The story has like a sense of all the games have a sense of foreboding that the mainline series don't have, and you have a protagonist who you believe is physically capable of dealing with this, because in most cases the protagonist is actually someone of a physical age capable of defending himself and other people.
So I do want to
except for the second one.
Like, I kind of disagree on that. One of the things I loved about the DS era of games is you could take any of the DS era games, right? And they never actually mention an age, right? And so with all the themes...
Black and White did.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
For N is specifically given an age.
Shit.
Okay. Black and White 2 seem to have the oldest specific trainers in the franchise, period.
Yeah, I think I was also going to say in Black and White 2, I think when you get the shopping mall, they comment on your age in the shopping mall, which is like really weird, but I think they do that there.
From what so this is bad memory, but from what I recall, usually it's not like a specific, you are 15. It's kind of like, hey, you look young. Which I'm kind of like, okay, maybe you're just somebody who looks young. And with the story themes, you can take them all and be like, okay, so there's an age range that you can assume that someone could be. And the stories were written in such a way that, I guess, taking Pokemon Yellow, for an example, or maybe not Yellow, but like Gold, like it could play the same if the character was 12 versus 20.
Well, and like like in Pokemon, in Detective Pikachu, Tim is specifically stated to be in his 20s, like making him very capable at that age. But yeah, I mean, the Ranger series always gave me the vibe like this is meant for a little bit of an older Pokemon playing audience than some of the other spin-off games. Not a whole lot of the because if you look at Mystery Dungeon definitely errs on the side of childish, right? The most simplistic of the most simplistic of the storylines that we get is in those games. Although one of them is really dark for some reason.
Wars of Time, yeah.
Sky
specifically.
Pokemon Conquest, which is really a Nobunaga's ambition game, dressed up as Pokemon. I mean, that's the point. That game is just dark because of the actual real source material of Nobunaga. But the Ranger series finds like a good median between the dark and like the kid friendly that none of the other spin-offs really capture in the same way.
Yeah. And the worlds feel alive, the characters feel real. And I feel like I loved exploring in Ranger. Like you would find just Ludicolo's chilling by the fountain, right? And it was fun. Like Empoleon just chilling by the iceberg by the water. And there was a town, and people were in the town, you could talk to people. The villains felt goofy but cool, right? I don't know, it was fun. And just you had a partner, like the other protagonist, if you didn't pick that, at least in the first game, They were helpful. I loved my Minun partner. That was fun. And just almost every Pokemon was in those games at some point.
Yeah, and what I like about him is that like the bond that you feel like your protagonist character has with that partner Pokemon.
Yeah.
It feels stronger than the one that you actually get in the mainline series. Because in the mainline series you're you, right? But in the Ranger series you are that character.
Yeah.
Which is a distinct difference, right? I mean, if we're gonna talk about dissidence, right? Like, you know, I really hate that word, but like there's something very nice about playing someone else's story sometimes, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
It's the reason why I like The Last of Us, right? You're not playing your story. You're playing Joel's story. You're playing Ellie's story. And they're going to do things that you don't want them to do because you are not them. They're not thinking in the rational way that you would be thinking about something. They're thinking irrationally because they're pissed and they're hurt. And this is how they react to these things because that's who those characters are. In the Ranger game, you know, obviously the character is super altruistic, but that's who that character is. And the things he does are based on the decisions he would make, not necessarily the decisions you would make as that character. And I like that about the Ranger series. And I just really analyze Ranger in a deeper way than anyone has ever done before. Jaden, did you say your favorite spinoff?
Sure. Okay, so I think for me, it's a toss-up of the three. I think I narrowed it down to, well, hold on. Are we considering Let's Go a spinoff or a main title?
I consider
it a weird, like, okay,
it's
so
main title. Game Freak considers it main title. I'd say it's main title.
Okay. So, yeah, because that would have kind of ruined the three and added a fourth. So, in terms of the three, I really enjoyed Mystery Dungeon. It was kind of my first foray into the Mystery Dungeon genre, and I thought that, like, it was just a very cute story overall. It was one of those things where, after playing a lot of really dark JRPGs in the 2006s and 7s, which was a very kind of like dark JRPG period, which I loved, it was something kind of refreshing and something really kind of easygoing. And so I enjoyed that from the Mystery Dungeon. I wouldn't say it's like a hard or heavy hitting game, but it was fun. I think the second one was Hey You Pikachu. I have a lot of fond memories of Hey You Pikachu, and honestly, like the degree of vocal responsiveness and just being able to understand words is really impressive for a Nintendo 64 title. Like, you know, yes, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't great, but this was also a Nintendo 64 title, and that's something I think that I'm going to keep harping on and going back to. I found it really impressive for the hardware.
Oh, no, every time I think about that game, I also think about Seaman on the Dreamcast.
Oh, it's great. I love that game, too. It's so weird, dude.
That game gave me fucking nightmares.
I know, it's amazing.
Seeing a human face on a fish.
It's great.
A distinctly Japanese face, too.
I know, it's great. But yeah, hey You Pikachu, I have a lot of fond memories of, and so that's probably my number 2 slot. The number one has to go to the Pokemon TCG. Pokemon the card game. I thought that was such a great adaptation of the card game into the Pokemon world. It felt
that game is.
Well, not just it felt like this could coexist in the actual Pokemon world itself. It's not like today where it's, oh, this is Pokemon TCG Online, I'm playing against other people. There's like a disconnect from Pokemon world and the card game itself. They managed to mesh these things too in a brilliant way.
It's fun too. Like it's legitimately fun.
It's a good game.
I had more fun playing that than the actual card game itself.
Easily.
They don't make card game video games like they used to. Like,
they really don't.
Pokemon TCG, the game, and like the old Yu-Gi-Oh Game Boy games.
Oh, dude, the Yu-Gi-Oh
So
games.
good. And now they're just like card game sims
You know what the
and
worst
Slay
part
the
of-
Spire.
You know what the worst
Yeah.
part about the Pokemon TCG game is that there's a sequel that never came out here. Japan only sequel that to this day infuriates the hell out of me because
That
it's
makes
like,
sense.
why? I know that game sold well globally.
I forgot
Why would you do this to people? And then every fucking video game magazine, because we had magazines back in that time, were making people aware there is a sequel that's not coming here because they hate you.
That's how.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
and
probably my top
graphically,
one.
I love that game too, right? Because
Mhm.
it takes the graphics from the red, blue,
Red,
and
blue,
yellow,
yellow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it finds a way to like update them ever so slightly. Like the
Yeah,
sprite
it's really good.
somewhat better. Your character model for that game just incredible, and then you go around challenging gyms in Pokemon card battles, and that's just so epic.
Good. It's a really good system
Yeah.
they came up with. And it should just continue. They need to make more of those.
I wish they would, honestly,
Mhm.
but I don't think Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast would let them. I think, I
Definitely ate into their profits.
oh yeah, I do not think that it would ever happen again. Just
Yeah,
because,
but that hasn't really been an issue for a while now, right? Like Pokemon cards are like pretty in house now, are they not? Or is it still?
100%, right?
Yeah, they're like they don't own like. I remember there was like a big deal, like Pokemon was leaving Wizards of the Coast, and for good reason, right? Like you didn't need them at that point to do what they do. I went to Target this morning to pick this motherfucker up. And also, apparently, there was a Pokemon card release. Most of the time, if I go to Target early in the morning, there's Funko Pop collectors outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a single one. I was the first person and only person in the store looking for Funko Pops. Everybody else in the line waiting
Shining
outdoors
Fates.
was trying to get
Shining
and that
Fates.
giant
Really cool
Pikachu
set.
like legend. That original Pikachu card is a giant, massive 10-inch.
Oh, yeah.
card.
The blow-up card, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's what the line was for. I asked, I was like, what are you guys in line for? And I was like, I thought it was like PS5s. I thought Target had gotten PS5s or the Funko. I was like, are you here for the PS5s? They're like, no. Are you here for the Funko Pops? Because the store's open already. No. What are you here for? Pokemon cards. I was like, it is 2021. And Pokemon cards still have that kind of draw. That means that
right,
that Pokemon
There's a
cards
shortage
game-
right now.
Yeah. Well,
right.
But that
There's a
means that-
couple things there.
but they know for a fact that they can still make that
There's
the
demand.
Pokemon card, there's still demand for it. So you can go and bring it back into the digital realm and give us a good game like that. And now you're not beholden to anyone other than yourselves and whatever game studio you decide to give this spinoff to.
Right.
I think the biggest issue with that right now is that the Pokemon TCGO exists, and that sort of nullifies any reason to make a card-based RPG around it.
Right, and that's
the
the
reason.
thing. Like, they have the online game so that they
Mhm.
can still make money off of the microtransactions and the
Well, you don't
online.
have microtransactions for that. It's just buy packs and enter code. You can't really spend money on that game.
Right, but in order to get more cards, you still have to
Buy
go out and
packs.
buy things, right?
Yeah.
In order
Pretty
for a card game, RPG, like full game that we're talking about, we use game as in like having a story, a beginning and end, etc., etc. All that
You
stuff
spend
has to
$60.
be right. It's self-contained, right?
Either that or you're EA, and no one likes to be E EA.
Right. And so that's one of the reasons why I just don't see Wizards of the Coast ever doing it. They're pretty greedy as hell. I mean, when we're talking about the card stuff right now, a lot of that is because it's a manufacturing induced shortage. What they're doing is because the tabletop, like mom and pop, the card game comic book stores are closed. They've really scaled back production of trading card games, generally speaking. Not just because there's no point because they can't run physical tournaments, right? And so it makes sense from a money like saving standpoint, and so that's driving up some of the costs and the demand as well. And so
this actually reminds me. I went to McDonald's 2 weeks ago, right? Not knowing that there was a Pokemon tie-in Happy Meal. I just went to McDonald's on my lunch break at work because there's one right across the street from my job. I saw they had Pokemon Happy Meals. I was like, fuck it, I'll order one. I get to the damn drive-through lane, and it says 10 Happy Meals per customer. They put a fucking limit on how many Happy Meals you could buy. Do you understand how bananas that is? That they
really want those
Happy Meals,
cards.
and under that it says, will not sell cards individually. Must buy Happy Meal. I'm like, this is the thing that's happened in 2021. What the fuck?
That's weird. It's really weird. And so, but in any case, a lot of that is just to say that this is like a continual money stream for them, and I can't see them doing it. I can't see them making a self-contained game. The fact that honestly Konami does it still with Yu-Gi-Oh is nothing short of a miracle, and I'll still take it. I'll still buy those games even if they're not great, like, because at least they're still doing it. So I will be appreciative.
Konami figured out a good way to separate the video games from the actual card game itself. Like, different sets of cards, card exclusivity, packing cards, and a very well-designed mobile version of the card game.
I think it'd be cool if they just went back and did the Gen 4 TCG as its own RPG. Because you can't buy those cards anymore.
Yeah,
so I just put them in an RPG.
I'm on board. I'm totally with you. I just don't think they'd do it. I do not think they would do it, which is a damn shame.
All right. So let's move on. We got 2 more topics. Yeah. Favorite Pokemon merch. I'm going to hit this one hard. I had pretty much virtually stopped collecting a lot of Pokemon goods in favor of the more traditional, Nintendo characters like Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, stuff like that. But I had outright completely stopped collecting Funko Pops years before. But then Pokemon Company and Funko collaborated in so many different ways over the last couple of years. We have the core Pokemon Funko Pops, and then you have this giant bitch, which is behind me, but when it gets this close, you see that it's bigger than my head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's big. Yeah.
No, I've loved this collaboration. Like, this is some of my favorite Pokemon merch because it does something that, one, I didn't think Funko was capable of doing, right? Was moving away from the aesthetics of the Funko Pop to do something uniquely Pokemon. And they did that really well. But then it wasn't just limited to Funko Pops, right? They had the A Day with Pikachu series, which I unboxed as many of those as I could. I still don't have a full set because that series was in such hot demand that a full set is actually fairly expensive, right? Because that collaboration really did well. And then what did they do the following year? They did the An Afternoon with Eevee and Friends. I got the whole set of that, and when you complete them, they make a whole diorama, which is back here, and it's a beautiful set, right? High quality figures, low price point, all vinyl, makes me happy. Then they did a Christmas set after they finished off the Eevees of a Pikachu and an Eevee that I absolutely adore. And this year they haven't announced anything, despite it being the 25th anniversary. And I'm like, Funko, please, give me more. Weird. Give me more. But today I did go to Target, as I said, and I did pick up this. I will be filming the unboxing after we're done recording tonight for the 25th anniversary Target exclusive 10-inch Funko Pop Pikachu metallic paint. We're going to discuss why it's actually silver because there's a very specific reason for that as well. But yeah, I love the Funko Pokemon merch, and I'm going to keep collecting it, and they keep releasing new Pokemon, and I've run out of shelf space. But yeah, this is some of my favorite Pokemon merchandise because first off, it comes in a scale that I love, right? They're willing to make bigger figures, which I've always liked having bigger figures in my collection. They have small scale figures, and yeah, they just look fucking badass. So yeah, I'm with it. So Funko, more Pokemon merch, please.
So this is technically a Wish.com knockoff. I have a couple official ones in my bedroom. But I mean, it might be legit, but I doubt with this quality. This does not seem legit. But the RTFX? Fuck, I've already figured out what they're called. Artifacts. Pokemon figures are really, really cool. They have them for basically every single protagonist, as well as a couple of the professors. And they're really, really cool. I do enjoy those a lot. Plushies are also great. I have a whole mountain of plushies over here by the window. I can't show. I got a couple box sets of the manga in my bookshelf as well. Which, if you haven't read the manga story, I'm still reading it.
Which one? The Adventures one or the
Adventures?
Hmm.
Adventures. They're really, really cool. People fucking die. Pokemon fucking die.
Yeah,
like
it's great.
people talk about like Arbok that's always been sliced in half. Like shit gets dissolved by the poison. But then like gym leaders are fucking evil. There's a war. Like there's so much cool, crazy shit, and it's just a fun fucking time if you haven't read the manga.
I mean, red and blue get like frozen for like in stone for like 5 years.
I'm not there yet, but I do know that Red gets kidnapped for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
they know that.
They get frozen in stone for like years, and they don't come back until the series gets somewhere near like black and white.
Man,
Yeah, so I'm at Gen
love
3, and a Team Aquagut just like pulled a fucking gun on the protagonist. It's like, wait, you
That's
have
amazing.
those here? The manga is a fucking wild time. It's really good. Just two. So if you haven't checked that out, I think they sell it at Costco. It's free to read if you want to pirate them online, right? Check those out. As well as plushies, figures, Pokemon cards. I'm an active player of the TCG. Love it. As well as just there's so much good art in the TCG. If you want to just collect for art and hang them on a wall or frame them or some shit, that's cool. There's a lot of really good fucking art for Pokemon TCG.
Oh man, speaking of the manga, they are re-releasing it. They started doing it at the tail end of last year. They are releasing it. Viz is releasing it as very thick 3-in-1 volumes right now. $17.99, pretty good value. They've really put a lot of effort into this collection. They're like tankobons. If you collect manga, you have your bukobons, tankobons. Your tankobons are the ones that are just bigger, thicker, better quality paper. You're getting your money's worth. $17.99, or I believe you can get them on Amazon for less than $15. So yeah, manga has always been good, always. Since that first adventure with Red and Blue, and Green is a crazy bitch in those.
Oh yeah, I love her use of Ditto. Her Ditto's really cool, as well as her flying on the Jigglypuff is fucking awesome too.
No, she's so trolly. Like she is a walking meme, and I love her for it.
She's a great character.
Jaden,
I would say the best merchandise is definitely the Pokemon Dojinshi out there. That's the best. I'm kidding. Well, actually, 7 more. No, I'm not gonna go there.
Who's the Dojinshi star?
Well, Gardevoir. No, I'm kidding. And all the furries that they're like, you don't take that back.
I'm leaving. I don't want to hear about what happens to Low Funny.
No, but in all seriousness, like when it comes to Pokemon merch, I've honestly not been a huge huge consumer of that sort of thing. I would say one of the fondest ones I have in terms of like memories of, I have very fond memories of the old, Burger King or Carl's Jr. They had like the 24 karat gold plated plates, cool. And they were a really, really cool tie-in because they also came with like a Pokeball thing that you could store them in. So it was really, really cool tie-in.
I had Pikachu and Togepi.
Yeah, and it was insane the prices
Both
that
my
those
brother
things
and I
would go for.
Still.
I don't think I ever got a whole set, but they like, I mean, they were being scalped on eBay for like $100 each, which was a lot of money back in like 1999 or whatever. In any case, though, that's a set of merchandise that I have really fond memories of.
Suffocating children thing, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, don't get me started there. There was another thing that I had that I cannot recall. It just completely, yeah. I had to say that I don't actually own them because the price point is a little too steep for my taste. But I do get something like, what is it, Pokemon World, Pokemon Store, Pokemon. They have like an email newsletter that they send out every month or whatever, and I'm always really drawn to the Pokemon themed jewelry. Like, I don't actually own them because, again, I find that the price point is a little little more than I'm willing to spend on something like that. But I've always loved the way that they've incorporated some of the Pokemon designs into like the rings and the watches and all these other sorts of things. I like those. And if I had that kind of fuck you money, I probably definitely would have picked some of those things up. But for me, I think the subtle merchandise kind of stuff is some of my favorite kind of things.
I'm a loud person. I like the bigger the merch, the better for me. I like to flaunt. I like to flex. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, let's wrap this show up. Let's hit up Pokemon memories. Blues, you're the baby of the group. You don't have very many to go off of. So we're gonna start with you.
Okay, so the playground for me was I'm messing with stuff I shouldn't be. Hold on. When my time on the playground, I was a Gen 2 kid, right? So all the kids, when they were playing Gen 2 on the playground, they hatched a Togepi egg and they fucking boxed it. No one cared about Togepi. And so I had a problem, right? So I chose Totodile and I got my Croconaw so powerful, I couldn't catch anything. It was physically impossible for me to catch anything. I didn't know how to catch Pokemon that I couldn't read. I was playing one before I could read. So I didn't know what I was doing. And eventually I just took out the Togepi and I got to fucking work with Togepi just so I could progress. And I eventually got this really fucking awesome Togetic with Metronome and Shadow Ball and shit. It was really fucking powerful. It was the envy of all the kids on the playground. And they all thought I was fucking hacking. Because Togetic didn't exist. Togepis didn't have an evolution. No. Because they all just fucking boxed theirs. And so I was like, I got accused of hacking, and that was the coolest shit in Gen 2. So I'm very happy about that.
Awesome. Nice. Jaden, Pokemon.
I do have a lot of fond memories of like the Missing No shenanigans. Those are really funny. Especially because for me, I had a bunch of Pokemon that I bothered to train up from like 1 to 75 and then would use the rare candies to get them 99. But by that, they'd already been completely EV trained and whatnot. So that didn't matter. But using those against some of the rare candied Pokemon would, you wipe the floor with him. And then the other kids would be like, dude, what the hell? Why is this? It's my Mewtwo's supposed to be stronger than that. So, that was always something that was really funny. I think one of the things that I kind of miss in the internet age, and I don't think kids get this kind of experience these days, but I have very fond memories of the kind of mystery around rumors and whether they're true or not true. Like
Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Right, Peekaboo was one of them. Rumors that you could get Mew in the game. Rumors about how to get Surfing Pikachu, which, none of those things were actually true at the time. But there were so many rumors about how to do it, like, oh, you got to talk to this person, then you got to walk in a circle 3 times, then you got to fly here, and then you got to, like, press A on this particular statue and all this other kind of nonsense. It was really kind of funny, looking back. So that's another fond memory I have. And the last one that I have is, so this was, I can't remember what the hell it was. I want to say it was related to the trading card game. But Toys R Us did have this thing where if you showed up, you could actually win gym badges for participating in this thing, and it was really cool. I was very envious of a bunch of my friends because they had more free time and money, and I was a poor kid, so they were able to go and win these things. And I was
at least you were in this country.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it's rough.
I remember when they were doing that, and I lived in Germany, and I had people sending me VHS tapes of shit that was on TV here in America, and I would watch stuff, and then so I would see what American commercials look like, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, shit, I can't do any of that.
Yeah, that
I
was one
lived
of
in Germany.
that was one of the real cool tie-ins that we had. That I felt bad for kids nowadays because it made the kind of thing feel real. Just the entire Pokemon experience and the product and just the idea of Pokemon as a whole. It felt more real. I remember seeing a bunch of kids that would walk around with like the badges on the inside of their jacket and stuff. It was really funny. But those are probably some of the fond memories like that.
Understood. I feel you. All right. So my big Pokemon memory. Me and my brother are pretty separated in age. There's a 6-year gap between us. But because of that, I get to experience a lot of things a little through him, right? So he was really that perfect target age when Pokemon came out. And I was 16 when the first game came out, or 15 when the first game came out, at least stateside and everywhere else. So I had a built-in excuse to do things that otherwise I would have been too embarrassed to do at that age, right? You're 15, you want to look cool all the time, you're a big badass, all that shit. But I remember the first Pokemon movie coming out, right? Obviously, Pokemon at that point at the fucking peak of its like powers, right? It's never been that big, even though we've had some like nice like rises, and then we'll plateau, we'll drop off again, but we never hit that mountaintop ever again, right? But I remember that first movie coming out and being really excited to, A, see my first theatrical anime film, B, be part of the phenomena that Pokemon was at the time, and, get the cards that they were giving out when you arrived at the theater, and just all of that, just the sheer amount of people that showed up at the movie theater that day. Like, where I lived in Germany, there's one theater, right? Mm-hmm. And they showed 2 movies a day. Two. Starting at 7 p.m. and then a 10 p.m. showing. That's it, right? They started selling. They did all-day tickets. They had all-day showings at this one movie theater because the anticipation and the hype surrounding this film were just huge. I remember going to the theater with my brother, running into people that I didn't expect to be there because, again, you're my age and you want to be a badass, you want to look cool. And that's one of the moments that, like, me and After Party, like, really clicked for the first time because it's like, what are you doing here? I was like, oh, I love these games. I fucking love these games too. Dude, let's fucking watch this fucking movie. And, we had a good time. And I'm like, holy shit. Yo, let's trade. Let's do some stuff. Like, going there with my little brother, seeing, future lifelong friends there. That was a really special thing that Pokemon did, right? Mm-hmm. That not a whole lot of other things in my life have given me, right? I don't have a lot of lifelong friends. I don't have a lot of experiences that directly tie me to people in that way because I'm a military kid and people come in and out of your life like you take shits. This is one of those things where it's like, I knew I'd be friends with somebody forever because of a shared common experience. And yeah, more than 25 years later, he's still one of my best friends. We don't work together on this show anymore, but we still talk video games. We talk Pokemon all the fucking time. And that's just one of those things. And me and my brother, sitting next to my brother in that movie theater, just having that moment with him, the age gap not mattering between us quite as much in that moment because we were both just sitting there enjoying something that was awesome at the time. And yeah, it's just a memory that I have with my friends and my brother that I'm always going to remember to the day I die. And that's something I got from Pokemon. It's one of the reasons why I love this franchise so much. So yeah, that is my big Pokemon memory. But yeah, man, these are some good memories. This was a fun Pokemon presentation. Not a whole lot of like real meat behind the bones of the presentation, but what was there was actually, fairly engaging and plenty to talk about. And we could talk about this for, another hour. This is supposed to be an hour show. We're approaching that 2-hour mark. But yeah, man, I'm going to split this into 2 parts. I want to have our Pokemon 25 years celebration as its own separate thing because it's good enough to warrant it. And yeah, I will try to have this out, guys, as soon as possible. But for right now, it's time for us to go ahead and get out of your hairs. Enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow is Pokemon Day. I hope you guys do all the fun Pokemon shit you want to do, unimpeded by, everything else that can fuck with you, especially with the way the world is now. Just go out and enjoy some fucking Pokemon. That's what I want for everyone. Take this day and make it like the holiday that it fucking deserves to be. With that said, I'm Nice One. You can hit me up on Twitter, Nice1983. You can email me at nice193@gmail.com. And you can hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/Nintendo Power Zone. If you like this podcast, you can always download episodes on iTunes, stream on Stitcher and Spotify, and right here on YouTube. This is where you can catch us. Guys, hit them up.
Yeah, I am, as always, at VKingBlues. Blues is always BLOOZ on Twitter. You can tweet me if you want to talk Pokemon. I love Pokemon, but I also want to talk, like, Yokai Watch or Bakugan. And, I can teach you about those, too. They're pretty good,
Especially that Bakugan. That's the best one. But not as good as Digimon. Just, throwing it out there. No, I'm kidding. It's all about Beyblades and car games on motorcycles. That's what
Beyblades is really fucking intense.
Yeah. In any case, this is Jaden Winsong. You can hit me up on Twitch, Twitter, Reddit. I mean, basically.
4chan.
I've been clean of 4chan for 10 years. 10 years. I've been clean.
Happy anniversary.
Good. And I'll be honest, it's tempted to go back and romp around the old 4chan forums, but
Oh, no.
No, thank you. But actually, I've been spending a lot of time on Minds lately. It was one of the new alternative platforms coming up, and it feels like a really interesting community. I can actually post things without worrying about the Twitter hate mob. So that's probably where I'm most active these days. So if you use Minds, then that's me, Jaden Winsong, on Minds. I even have a check mark. It's pretty damn cool. All I had to do was say, "Can I please have check mark?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." It's pretty cool. But yeah.
All right. And guys, last but not least, if you like the song that you're hearing at the end of this episode, that's done by former co-host of the show, Mara After Party, also known as Chris Shaver. You can download this song on iTunes, Bandcamp. It's available to listen to stream on YouTube and Spotify. Wherever you get your music, you can get our theme song, The Power Zone. I want to thank everybody so much for watching, and have a happy Pokemon Day. Deuces.
Don't forget to brush your teeth with Pokemon Smile.
Game of the year. Game of the year.